to my channel and welcome back to my channel. Hi, my name is Asia Christina Foster. How are you doing today? Okay, we're gonna get right on into this video. Today we're gonna be talking about how to be self-aware. This is very important. Okay, we all could use some self-awareness in our lives. But first, before we jump onto this video, I want you to give this video a thumbs up because it really helps us out. We are so close to 200K. I've been asking you guys this to let me know what I should do when we hit 200K because it's around the corner and I'm mind blown and I love you guys so much and I'm so grateful for all the love and support that I have been getting. Thank you for being here with me today. I know I say it a lot, but that's because I really mean it, and I hope you never get tired of it because I'm never gonna stop saying thank you, and then I'm super grateful. Genuinely, wholeheartedly. Also, make sure your post notifications are turned on so you're notified every time that I post, because if you haven't noticed, you've been seeing me a lot, okay? And it's been helping me. All the love you guys have been showing me has really been helping me. So, let's get right on into the rest of this video. This is for those of you that want a better life for yourself. Okay? Because if you're on this channel, we all do. For those of you that want to stop toxic patterns and just genuinely be the best you. This video is going to help you, it's going to enrich you, and it's going to change your perspective of how you look at life. Are you ready? So first, let's talk about what is self-awareness. Self-awareness is having a clear understanding of your personality, including your strengths, weaknesses, thoughts, beliefs, motivation, and emotions. Why is this important? Because self-awareness allows you to understand others and also identify and understand how you are perceived, as well as your attitude and responses. And I think this is very important to talk about because I think so many of us have questions that we don't have the answers to, or some of us are so far away from being self-aware that we have a permanent, I should say semi-permanent, victim mentality where we always think like, woe is me, why is this always happening to me? I want you to get in the driver's seat and I want you to trust yourself. So first, ask yourself this question. What is my belief system? So if you are Christian, it says like in the Bible, as a man thinketh, so is he. What do you believe? If you believe people suck, people can't be trusted. Oh, what did Taylor Swift? I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me. Not a good thing. And I'm definitely a Tay Swiftie fan, but that's not a good thing. You know, I don't have any friends. Friends are fake. People are fake. You can't have friends. What do you believe? What is your belief system? That's important because why? That becomes your value. That becomes your value system now. And you begin to live out that reality. Why? Because our beliefs are dominant and our thought patterns are on autopilot. And that consciously or subconsciously triggers your feelings and reactions to certain circumstances in your life. So I actually began to think about this myself and I realized the power of thoughts and even emotions as well. And that's when I began to actively work on improving and changing them. Second question, how do I perceive my self-image? This means how do you see yourself? How do you think others see you? And also how others actually see you. And this is important because there was actually a chart that I've seen on the internet and I'm gonna insert it here. But as you guys can see, it has, your open self, your blind self, your concealed self, and also your unknown self. And you can see based on your own perceptions in this chart that we all have not only all of these things, but more importantly, we all have a blind area. So your self-image and how you perceive yourself is of course going to affect your self-esteem. Now, what is your self-esteem? I love this definition. Your self-esteem is your own emotional evaluation of your self-worth. Essentially, your attitude toward yourself. If your self-esteem is healthy, then generally your thoughts are going to be positive. And on the contrary, if your self-esteem is low, you're always going to be thinking about negative things and negative outcomes. Now, if you have a positive perception of yourself and a positive view of yourself, then if you are faced with adversity and difficult situations, they are less likely to have a long impact on you. On the contrary, if you are someone that is super negative, you kind of stay in stagnant in those thoughts and they have a worse and a more significant impact on you. And also with a negative mindset, you naturally always focus on your weaknesses and your mistakes. Number 3, do you accept yourself. Let's highlight self-acceptance in this community, okay? I think it's important to highlight self-acceptance in the community of personal development and femininity. And this is relevant also, especially as it pertains to dating, which we happen to talk about a lot on this channel, because this directly affects how you date as well. And this doesn't mean to stop striving for personal growth, because that's way too black and white of a thought. Just because you accept certain things about yourself doesn't mean that you can't work on them and improve them. It just simply means living in the present. And when you live in the present, you are at peace. So when you're in flow, there's no resistance, there's no blockages that's keeping you in the past or in the future. You are here and now. And how can you learn self-acceptance? Well, you can cultivate self-acceptance by highlighting your strengths and your capabilities, not obviously focusing on your weaknesses and all of the negative aspects that you may feel about yourself, or even your threats. And this leads me to my next point. Stop comparing yourself and your life to others and other people. You, and I said this in my femininity video, you don't have to sound, look, dress like them or whatever. You have to do what is comfortable for you. Anything that isn't truly you, you simply don't have to do. And also, just be careful that you don't adopt this complex of like, I'm so different, I'm not like other girls. I call it like the originality complex that people have, where it's like, I'm so different. No, like I'm not like the others. No, like really, like, because some people are just so used to like being like different their whole lives that they've like branded it now, where it's like, I'm different, I'm so different. Enough. Like seriously, okay? Enough. Because why? Essentially, that is a form of comparison, because it's feeding your ego and setting you apart from others. So my advice to that is just be you, because you can't fake authenticity. Number 4, have you tried falling in love with yourself? I'm actually actively doing this as we speak. Like I feel like that already. Like I hug myself like, I love you. Like I just like, when you look in the mirror, it's like you have to just like fall in love with yourself and just like, you know, have you ever tried doing that? Practicing self-love will allow you to radiate confidence, and it just makes you like a magnet. It just draws people to you. Why? Naturally, people do like to be around confident people. Self-love is about being kind to yourself and expressing yourself without fear. Also, being compassionate with yourself. I love that word, compassion. Having boundaries and respecting them. Not being concerned with whether someone likes you, or living a life that you think people want you to live, or someone else's idea of what your life should look like. And why is self-love truly important? And I think we hear this term so much that it's just like we get desensitized to it. Self-love is very important because this directly not only influences how you choose your significant other, but also the image you project and how you cope with life's situations. Self-love, by definition, is a state of appreciation for oneself that grows from actions. It grows by actions that mature us. We then cultivate compassion for ourselves and others, especially people that are struggling to find themselves and their meaning in the world. And this allows us to focus more on our purpose and fulfillment and things that are just actually in alignment for our lives. And this is all done through our own efforts, not another individual. This leads me to my last point, which is actually self-actualization. Self-actualization is the motive to unlock your full potential. How do you do this? By pursuing knowledge, personal growth, spiritual growth. That's like an anchor for a lot of us. Creativity, problem solving, etc. It is what you can contribute to society. This is huge. What makes you feel like you were living your best self? You are expressing yourself, you know, your personality is meeting your purpose, and you're also able to give back to others. What makes you feel that? This is going to build your self-esteem. This is going to add to your self-worth, and this is going to allow you to make better decisions in your relationships. Why? Because you realize that in doing this work and living such a fulfilling life, why would you ever put yourself in a situation where someone is not only not allowing you to express the fullness of yourself, but they're also not treating you well on top of that? You're naturally not going to be in those types of dynamics and allow someone to strip those things away and that self-actualization away, because you know the hard work that it takes to get there and the self-awareness that it takes to be self-actualized. You want to be around people that make you feel like you. You ever heard that saying where it was like, when you meet someone and you just feel like that's home for you? Like that. If it feels good and it brings you peace, do it. If it makes you feel like there's resistance and there's blockages, drop it. So, in conclusion, angels, self-awareness requires you to ask yourself all of these questions and truly understand them and have the answers so that you can better understand yourself. And I also want to say, be grateful that you're here right now watching this video, striving to be better, okay? Be very grateful for that because that matters. These little things are planting the seeds. And I really do commend you for being here because not a lot of people are doing the work, but you're here. And I also want you guys to know that it does get easier and your life will be a lot more peaceful the more self-aware you are because you are really able to look at life so much differently because you understand that just because you're here and someone else is over there doesn't mean that like you're this and they are that. Like you don't place anyone in a hierarchy. You don't compare your life to anyone else's. You're just living in alignment with what's going on for you in the most balanced way possible. You're just focused on what comes, what goes, and just letting everything flow and doing things that genuinely feel good to you. And because of that, it forces you to naturally highlight what doesn't feel good and what brings up resistance in you, and you know to stay away from that sort of thing. So I want to get some dialogue going in the comment section. Let me know some ways that you intend on being more self-aware. Which of these things that I just talked about do you think that maybe you could work on more? And also, do you have any recommendations, any books or anything that we can share in the comment section to help us for those of us that are struggling with, you know, being self-aware and things like that? I want us to just have some dialogue in the comment section and kind of help each other out. And you never know who you're going to be helping, you know? So just put those things out there and always be the best version of yourself. And I'm here holding your hand, helping you do it. That is the end of this video, angels. Thank you so much for watching this and thank you for being here. I'm so grateful. And do not forget that I love you and God loves you. And I'll see you beautiful angels in my next video. Mwah.